Hi and welcome to this next video. This is another dysfunctional cycle to give you another example of how these cycles can appear for us. Again, it's a good way to get it out of your head onto paper or onto a whiteboard to help you to really understand and get to know your core patterns. And this one is more focused around depression and low mood. So just to start us off, recognizing that within the trigger part of this, obviously I put here making a mistake at work. However, there can be many triggers to a depressive mood firing off, because that depressive story or cycle about yourself or about your life will jump on board at anything, can make anything negative. It's very easy for it to do that, to just bring focus to that, the negative aspects of things, and when things might not go to plan or go wrong in different ways. So just to give you, I suppose, a few examples of this. It could be any sort of loss or breakup, loss of job. It could be a change in life or a transition. It could be health issues. It could be maybe even a sense or a lack of social support. Anything that's stressful or overwhelming. And it could be anything from something really small to bigger life events that can be seen as negative, and where that depressive story will jump onto them and make it about that pattern. It could be even as simple as just a rainy day, rainy, gloomy day. And of course that depressive story jumps on board of it and makes everything awful. So in this case, it's the trigger is making a mistake at work, and we will follow this around just to explain it a little bit more. So that happens, that's the trigger, and then in comes that self-critical voice. Again, it's that depressive voice, that depressive story that will jump on board of anything. There I go again. I can't get anything right. So it moves into that place of beating up on yourself straight away. That sort of baseline thought or thinking, as we can see here from the belief system, it's I'm worthless, I'm a failure, I'm not good enough. So or seek evidence for that belief in any way it can. So there I go again, I can't get anything right. So low mood will kick in. I'll never get anywhere. Creates this sort of hopeless feeling of the future. Depressed feeling, lethargy, heavy, tired, brain fog, so those physical sensations that we might experience. Then moving into negative outlook, that arrow should be going backwards and forwards really. And then of course we got here as well, others have it, I don't. So that compare and despair can be very present within most depressive cycles, because it's looking outside all the time. Where do others have it? Where do I not? And it's yes, it's a sense of loss, as we mentioned a couple of times there, but it's also that sense of lack as well. Like I don't have the knowledge, I don't have the skills, I don't have the experience, I don't have the capability. Maybe even others have happiness, I don't. So it's like it's not possible for me. So of course that leads into this place of what's the point? And again, sort of following around this cycle, it's all sort of interlinking together into this hopeless, depressive place. And what's the point? That thought is very crucial as well to notice if you're having any suicidal thoughts or even plans or actions, because it's that thought of what's the point and that hopeless feeling that gets you into that place. Because it's trying to escape the depression cycle really, but it's the depression cycle trying to escape itself. So of course, when it can't do that, it just throws up these suicidal thoughts or even self-harm thoughts, trying to escape the situation or escape itself, because it can't see a way out. So just being aware of that. Because if you do get yourself into those places, of course, the first point of contact might be like Samaritans, your local GP, or emergency services, depending on that level of risk that's there for yourself. But if you do get into that place, just move into that place of really just acceptance and going, okay, the pattern is firing up here because it can't see a way out. But remember, you're not going to solve a problem from the same level of thinking that created it. So you have to move into a space of just being with it for the moment, just allowing it to be there. Okay, recognizing that feeling. Okay, I feel hopeless. I feel helpless. I'm noticing a thought of what's the point. Just trying to slow things down and just be the observer of the pattern, so you can step back from it, maybe even focus elsewhere, distract yourself, just again to slow everything down so you can start to see things from a higher perspective. And from that higher perspective, then you might be able to see maybe able to see a point, or maybe able to see a little bit of a way out of that cycle, and maybe even a bit of hope within there as well. But don't act from that lower level, because again, you can't solve a problem from the same level of thinking that created it. Slow things down, find your balance. So yeah, obviously it comes around to sadness, lack of interest, motivation, I can't be bothered, reduced functioning, withdraw, isolate. Again, all of these are sort of going around together. Probably, literally everything within this cycle, I could probably have put an arrow to everyone, to everything, every thought, every feeling, every behaviour, because it's all just like swimming around in a pit of despair, and all just bouncing backwards and forwards off each other in different ways. And of course, then the depression continues. There's going to be shame there, guilt there in different ways, depending on what the story is for you. And of course, at the core of all of this, as we said, it's that sense of I am worthless, I am a failure, not good enough. Again, those are just examples of the core beliefs that could be present. And of course, the assumption there is, if I am worthless, if I am a failure, if I am not good enough, then what do I need to do? In this case, we put there, I need to prove myself. I need to prove my worth to others. Especially if you're comparing and despairing to others, it's like, okay, well, others have that power in that sense. Others are more capable than me, so I need to prove myself in order to be accepted, not rejected, etc., etc. So yeah, hopefully that helps, gives you a bit of an example of what a depression cycle can look like, and hopefully it helps in creating your own as well. So I'll leave that with you. Get yourself a pen and paper, or a whiteboard, whatever you want to use, and write your own out.